everyone, and welcome back. This week is all about building confidence. All right. So, the late great Toni Morrison had an interview with Oprah once when she asked the question, does your face light up? Right. So, tip number one, when you first see them, Toni Morrison asked the question, when your face light up, and she was asking it about when we see children, when we see other children, and when we see our children, right? Does your face light up when you first see them, or are you criticizing and ridiculing them because of how they look? Maybe their hair may be out of place, their shirt may be untucked, the shoe may be untied, and when you first see them, you automatically talk about those things and you don't acknowledge that you're actually happy that they made it back home from school, that you're actually happy to see them when you're picking them up from school, right? So making our first interaction with them a positive one and not one that's actually criticizing. And then the second thing, our words are power. No matter what you believe or what your religious beliefs are, spiritual beliefs are, there's this common theme that you have what you say. You reap what you sow. What you put out is what you get back in, right? So that's the same thing for our kids. If we're constantly putting out words and speaking words over them, then 9 times out of 10, those behaviors match the words that we say over them. If we're saying you're bad, if we're saying you're unorganized, if we're saying you're disrespectful, that's why we keep getting those behaviors back, right? So that goes to the third tip of changing the language. Change the things that we say about our children, because what we say about them turns into what other people say about them, turns into what they say about themselves, right? So we're constantly putting those words over them, even though some of those behaviors may match the words that we're saying, we have to learn how to say it differently. So let's say they have trouble cleaning their room, or they are messy. Say, hey, let me help you get organized, right? Say they are acting out in class. Say they are disrespecting the teacher. Let me help you with strategies to come up with so that you can communicate differently, right? Instead of just saying, you bad, you don't listen, right? Let's work with them. Let's put in work. Teach them strategies. Teach ourselves strategies so that we can teach them how to be more effective and how to be different individuals, right? And then the fourth tip, it is not your story. I don't want to hear my child struggle with reading because I struggle with reading. My child struggle with math because I struggle with math. My child has ADHD because I have ADHD. It is not your story. And it's not fair for you to put it on them because it's something that you struggle with. And it's not something that you can use to be comfortable in it because it's something that you struggle with, right? It's not your story. Give them the chance to grow and develop and to be themselves. And if you see some of the same characteristics, let's fix it. It's not okay that you struggle with it, and it's not okay for them to struggle with it either, right? So let's move to my last tip, and that is to have fun with it. This can be something, it doesn't have to be heavy. It doesn't have to be something that you're struggling with and you're trying to come up with ideas. You can have fun with it. When you see them, when you first see them, come up with a chant, right? Come up with a song. Come up with a handshake. Come up with a secret kiss. Anything that lets them know that you're happy to see them and you're not automatically going into, okay, let me criticize, right? Okay, let me tell them why they should look like the way they look when I drop them off from school. And then you can even have a jar of things that the family love about each other. And you can pull out that jar and say, hey, mom said she really loves your whatever, right? And that's a way that you can speak those words over them. And even with changing the language, right? Inside that same jar, you can put something like, hey, have you remembered to make up your bed today? Have you put up your laundry today, right? Instead of it being, oh, you messy, or oh, you didn't do this, oh, you didn't do that. Have that jar and pull those things out every day just to make sure they're keeping up with those chores. And then another thing you can do is every time somebody says something negative or something bad about somebody else, they have to put a quarter or a nickel or something in a jar. And then at the end of the month, whoever said the most nice things, they get the jar and they get to go buy something for themselves, right? Something small. but just something to incorporate these ideas in a fun way and in a way that the whole family takes part in it. And I had way too much fun with my family, so as you can hear, my voice is kind of going in and out. However, wrapping up our 5 tips on building confidence. When you first see them, make it a positive interaction. Your words have power, so speak positivity over them. Change the language that you're using. If it's something you want to correct it in a different way. It's not your story. Don't put your story on them. And then have some fun in building confidence, because it is going to make a huge difference in how your child sees themselves, okay? Thank you all for watching. Please remember to comment, subscribe, like, and I will see you all next week.